I kind of want to give a bit of a hot take. I don't really like how HP and maybe defense damage scalers are in Wuthering Waves right now. Not the units themselves, but the mechanic in the current state of the game. I want to first point out that despite the many years of gacha games I've played, I haven't really played much action-based ones. I've mostly played turn-based, so I don't know how other action-based gachas have handled them in this regard. Anyways, to start off, I'm not saying HP and defense is useless. For most Resonators, I do feel you get enough bulk just from leveling them up, and their echoes to deal with pretty much all content in the game. As of right now, there aren't any mechanics where you need to intentionally tank an attack because the game has dodging and parrying, both which allow you to avoid and negate all damage. You can avoid getting hit completely with enough practice, and even if you can't perfectly dodge everything, you can still clear the majority of content, if not all of it. There is very little content in which you actually have to worry about getting one-shot by anything. Certain high-level holograms, and maybe some virtual crisis challenges. Dodging in Wuthering Waves is relatively easy compared to other games I've played. Recent example being Elden Ring, Monster Hunter, and Expedition 33. You have a surprisingly large window to dodge in Wuthering Waves. All this to me makes it feel like HP and defense damage scaling we've seen so far have little to do regarding their original purpose. Instead of having HP for more health and defense for more defense to accompany a Resonator's playstyle and their skill set, HP and defense is more like attack 2 and attack 3, and the Resonator this time just happens to want attack 2. You could argue that it's a way to diversify builds, but it feels more like an artificial attempt to make a less used stat feel more relevant. With Cartethyia's release, and as an HP scaling damage dealer, she fits what I mean by this. You don't build her with HP because you need that HP. You build her HP because they made her damage scale with HP. The only health related effect in her kit is you losing a percentage by transforming into fleurdelys. And the health loss doesn't really matter because you're just going to dodge and parry anyways and then heal back to full when you revert back after your rotation is done. It doesn't really complement or affect her actual kit or playstyle. It just feels like a condition that was tacked on to try to even the playing field. But there's no more threat to her than any other damage dealers would have, because even with the HP loss, you still have more health than the majority of them. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not hating on Cartethyia. I absolutely love her. Her skills are amazing, and having 50,000 HP is pretty awesome. An interesting thing to come out of her being an HP scaler is that her best in slot echo set is the 44111 compared to the usual 43311. It's just the HP scaling doesn't feel utilized when it comes to her kit and playstyle. If an HP scaler can do as much damage while having double to triple the health pool of an attack scaler, what does the attack stat provide over HP or defense damage scaling? I know I'm looking at this in a vacuum, but when in-game content is all just a DPS race, it's hard to see it any other way. In other RPG games, without reaction-based dodge or evasion mechanics, units that build more HP or defense often trade something in return, usually having their damage be lower. That's not the case with Wuthering Waves. If you look at it from a game design, isn't this just power creep? Maybe I'm just too much of an RPG traditionalist, but I feel if they're going to design more Resonators to scale damage with HP or defense, I would like to see more unique mechanics as to why they're that way. I think Donjin is already a good example of an existing unit that utilizes her HP to her kit, but she's not even an HP scaler. Maybe a Resonator with a kit that intentionally wants to get hit, and not just to counter. And do I dare say, a boss mechanic that you can't dodge or parry, so you'll need to swap to someone with enough bulk to soak the hit? Maybe we'll leave that one out. So yeah, that's my take. Agree? Disagree? Whatever the case, feel free to share your thoughts, and even include your own ideas of what kind of skill kits you'd like to see for possible future HP and defense scaling Resonators. Yeah, that's about it. See ya.